So next up is leave it. Leave it is an incredible cue to tell your dog to forget about whatever they're showing interest in. And when you're using a good leave it, I want you to think of dropping Advil on the floor or spilling glass. And as it scatters across the floor, your dog runs into the room thinking some treats just hit the floor, or food, or something that they want, and you're gonna say leave it. Leave it means that they get out of the room, they walk away, and they don't show any more interest into it. So this is how we start to introduce that. That cue is gonna start with food. And what we're teaching them initially is to leave food. And in future videos, we'll show you how you can move from food to other things, like babies' toys, or other dogs, or people on the sidewalk. Okay. So we're gonna have our piece of food, nice tasty bit, right? Something really smelly, something Jack's really gonna want. I'm gonna have a closed fist. The fist comes out like a branch on a tree. Doesn't move, he's gonna show interest. And as smelly as it is, I don't flinch my hand away. I'm gonna apply the cue right away. This is a verbal only cue, and it's going to be leave it. I'm gonna say it in a pretty casual way. Leave it? Yes. So you're gonna put your bait hand out and you're going to treat from your other hand, because I want your dogs to learn that whatever they leave, they don't eat. Even if it is that spaghetti noodle that fell on the floor and is dog food, you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna hand it to them. Hand comes out, they're going to sniff it, you're gonna say leave it once, leave it. The nose has to come off and eyes come up to you. Yes, he earns the treat. So as my fist comes out and Jack starts licking my hand and showing interest, I say the cue only once. I wait for that nose to fall off simply by using patience. Your terriers or your beagles or maybe some of your hounds might have a lot of tenacity, not give up so easily. But trust me, every dog backs off at some second, so wait, and wait. Have some patience with it. As the nose falls off, your dog might look on the floor or might look around. Use a little bit of verbal prompting if you really aren't getting that eye contact fast enough. I'll show you here. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Once your dog starts to leave it fairly reliably, meaning 3 out of 3 times he's falling off and giving you eye contact, I want you to move to your pinched fingers. We did a closed fist before, now we're moving to a pinched finger. And the pinched finger is a teeny tiny little piece of treat that fits between the pads of your fingers. No piece of treat can stick out. If it sticks out, your dog is just gonna eat your fingers. Your hand, so if you can notice, there is no treat sticking out. I'm gonna say the cue just the same. Leave it. Yes, good boy. This cue is harder, this part of the cue is harder because the dog feels like he's being fed the treat. I make sure it's at nose level and he's very interested in it. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Great. You went from closed fist to pinched fingers. We're moving on to cage fingers. Now I want you to think, if you're having trouble in any of these phases of leave it, go back to the easier one. So I get my little piece of food, and I'm gonna say leave it way earlier than I did in the first 2 phases. If you notice, Jack already sees the food up in the air. That's when you say leave it, when the dog shows initial interest. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Leave it. Leave it. Yes, good boy. When you're putting food on the floor, it is so irresistible for dogs to pull away from it. That's what we call impulse control, and that's what Leave It is working on so hard. So if you notice, when the food is on the floor, I keep my hand over it to show that it's still mine. That actually helps the dog understand what Leave It means. As the dog becomes fluent and understanding that Leave It might mean give mom some eye contact, I'm actually going to take my hand away from the food so that finally I can put food on the floor, say Leave It, and they're still able to pull their eyes and attention towards me.